Hey everybody, it's low carb and keto nutrition specialist Amy Berger bringing you the one and only keto without the crazy. I have two important things to tell you today. The first, I have slots open for new clients. If you have been wanting to work with me or wanting to work with someone to help you with your keto or low carb diet, if you would like to have someone help you take the crazy out of keto, help you do it more simply and sanely, and without the sensationalism and alarmism and fear-mongering that happens out there in the scary, unwashed interweb masses, consider booking an appointment. There is a link below to see the details about doing a consultation with me. And just because I think some of you might watch my videos, but you don't know my background, I want to take just a couple of minutes to tell you a little bit more about myself. I'm not just some random person on the internet who talks about keto. I do have a master's degree in human nutrition. I am a CNS, which is Certified Nutrition Specialist, and that is a master's level credential. You have to have a master's degree to sit for that board exam. You have to get supervised hours and all the stuff. I have all that. Not only that, I am the author of 3 books. You can look me up on Amazon. My first book is called The Alzheimer's Antidote. They call Alzheimer's disease type 3 diabetes. If you're wondering what on earth a nutritionist, and especially a nutritionist who specializes in low carb and keto diets, why would I have anything to say about Alzheimer's? My second book is The Stall Slayer, which is about breaking fat loss stalls on low carb or keto diets. My third book was or is End Your Carb Confusion, co-written with Dr. Eric Westman from Duke University. And so, yeah, 3-time book author. I helped create the curriculum that the American Nutrition Association uses to train other CNSs, other certified nutrition specialists in the ketogenic diet. So I helped contribute to the curriculum for that. Specifically, I helped with the modules on insulin resistance and neurological and neurodegenerative disorders, so sort of an outgrowth of my Alzheimer's research. And I am also on the committee that writes the exam for certified nutrition specialists. This has all evolved over the years since I got my designation many years ago. But so I helped develop the American Nutrition Association's curriculum, and I'm actually on the committee that writes the certifying board exam. So kind of like to think I know a little bit about keto and low carb. I, of course, eat this way myself, have been for a very long time. My personal story, how I got into keto myself, is much more long and detailed. You can find that on my blog. I'll put a link below. If you want to check out any of those 3 books that I mentioned, just scroll way, way down in the notes. I include it in every episode. I think just most of you don't really have time to go scrolling all the way down, but there are links to the books. And so I have slots open. You can work with me from anywhere in the world, really, because we can do it via Zoom, we can do it by phone, so location is not a problem. And let's see, what else can I say? Oh, second big thing I wanted to tell you about, Patreon. Patreon.com/toitnutrition. There's a link below. Patreon is a very budget-friendly way to work with me if you cannot afford a consultation. If a private one-on-one consultation is a little bit out of your budget, I don't want to leave you hanging. I don't want to leave you with no help. Heaven only knows what you'll find if you ask on Reddit or you ask on Facebook. You'll find a lot of good, reliable, helpful stuff, but you'll come across a lot of crazy nonsense too. So if you join my Patreon, and if you don't know what Patreon is, I'll explain in a minute. You could subscribe to my Patreon for several months for less than the price of one consultation with me. And joining my Patreon, what you get is, go to patreon.com/toitnutrition and you can see the different subscription levels available. It's a monthly fee. There is no long-term commitment. So you could join for 1 or 2 or 3 months, see how you like it, If it's not a good fit, you just cancel anytime, but I hope you think it is a good fit. You get multiple live sessions with me for Q&A. So, and beginners are not only welcome, they are highly encouraged. I would love to help more beginners get started with this, or help sort of troubleshoot right out of the gate so that they don't have to make 25 mistakes and then correct. What if I could help those people help you not make those mistakes in the first place? So beginners are very, very much welcome and encouraged. There's no question too basic, no question too simple, and yeah, all levels are welcome. You're welcome to join if you are far more advanced and just want a place to talk about keto and ask me questions. It doesn't even have to be about keto specifically. Could be about, human metabolism and metabolism, biochemistry, physiology in general. So any of that stuff. Depending on the tier that you would subscribe to, there's different, subscription tiers. Some tiers have extra perks in addition to those calls. I'm going to do probably a once a month little virtual keto happy hour. Adult beverages welcome but not required. If you choose not to imbibe, if you are an abstainer from alcohol, that's fine. If you still want to just get on the call. And one tier, or maybe two, is going to have early access to videos. So if you really enjoy my YouTube videos, you will be able to watch them a couple of days before they're released to the general public if you subscribe to my Patreon. You will also get exclusive patron-only content. Most of that is going to be audio. It's not going to be videos, but it'll be an audio recording that you can just listen to, while you're doing chores or while you're out for a walk or something. And that could be anything. It's going to run the gamut. It could be me just sort of giving my thoughts on what I'm seeing in the low carb world currently, that week or that month, and the occasional rant, the occasional very spicy, passionate rant. I get a little more heated and a little more non-family friendly, a little more swear word usy, a little more cussing, whatever, where I grew up, we called it swearing or we called it cursing. Other people call it cussing, I do that sometimes in my Patreon videos, but I try to keep the public YouTubes clean. And they will also sometimes include what I call a research review. If I've read a paper that I think is really worth sharing my thoughts on, or kind of telling you about, walking you through it, I do that. I used to do that regularly and then I got away from it, but I think that's a good way to help you understand some of the research, and whether that is going to be papers that have just come out, or there's a lot of old classic papers that are fabulous and are worth either rereading, or maybe I'm just discovering them for the first time. Papers from the 50s and 60s and even earlier. So that's 1950s and 60s, clearly. So, or maybe even the 1850s. There's probably one or two medical journals that go back that far. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to bring your attention specifically to two ways for you to work directly with me. Patreon, you might not consider it's directly, but it is. There's interactive calls, and you'll see if you go to Patreon and you check out the tiers. It does say this, but I want to just reaffirm here. For all of the live calls, they are recorded, so if you can't attend live, you will be able to watch the replay. And so if you have questions for me, but you're not going to be able to make the next live session, you could either you could just wait till, if you're going to be on live the next week or 2 weeks later, you could just wait and ask then, or you are more than welcome to send me your questions by email or direct message on Patreon. And I can answer those questions in that session, and you would just watch the replay and be able to hear and see the answer. And there was something else I was going to say. Oh, the dates and times of some of those live broadcasts, or all of them really, are going to vary from month to month. And the reason I'm going to do that is because that will give, hopefully, the most people an opportunity to participate at least now and then. Right? Some of you live outside the US, you're in very different time zones, or maybe you're in the US, but you work a shift, you work night shift or something. So if I have all the calls always on the same day and time, if you can't make it, well, that stinks. You can't make it like ever. So if I vary them from month to month, then that kind of casts a wider net and will allow more of you to participate. Maybe not always, but maybe you can't catch it this week, but you could catch 2 of them next week or the week after. So I just think that is a bit more equitable, I think. I used to do calls at a fixed time, and I don't think it was all that great to be able to accommodate more people. So that's what I'm going to do. And the new tiers, I just changed the offerings. Things go into effect on September 19th. I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to air this video, but I will publish the schedule for September 19th out till the end of September, sometime before the 19th, so you could at least mark your calendar. You could see when the live videos will happen. And then starting October 1st, I will post the schedule for the whole month on the 1st of the month. Or possibly before if I have it worked out then, so that you can kind of just mark your calendar. So I will release those dates and times ahead, and that's it. I read your comments. You have questions, you need help. These are 2 ways that you can get that directly with me. And yeah, the Patreon is just a really, really great way to go if a consultation is not within your budget, which I completely understand. And like I said, I don't want to leave anyone hanging out there. If you need help and you like the way I specifically talk about keto and help educate about keto, you can work with me. I have opportunities for that to happen. And like I said, you'll see when you go onto the Patreon page, or if you click on the consultation page, then there's links to everything here, that for less than the price of one consultation with me, one private one-on-one consultation, you could have many, many months of subscribing to Patreon. So that's it. I hope to see you there. I'm here. I want to help. Please don't leave that on the table. Like this is here for you if you want it. And that is not untoward, people. If you want to pick my brain, these are the opportunities to do it. And I look forward to seeing you there. All right, take care, everybody. See you next time.